This one is titled Web and Fork and is a little different than some of the others. This whole show is a mix of acrylic and oil. And historically I painted in oil paint and I still do. But I wanted a more viscous, or soupier kind of paint, and yet keeping the saturation level with the paint there. So golden, you know, not that I'm advertising golden paint, but they have a really nice paint line. So this is acrylic with some crayon, watercolor crayon, and pretty much all the marks are watercolor crayon. Anyway, it's similar to the untitled piece, the small piece, in that idea of compressed space and mark layering. And the thing that I loved about the golden paint was you could really move it around with brush or squeegee or rags, and you can do the same, of course, with oil paint. But there was a transparency, and of course you can do all of this with oil paint, but there was something that I liked about the acrylic, and part of that too was that this kind of line, this crayon line, is better suited, I felt like, with the combination of acrylic paint. And this one started out sort of exploring just primary relationship of blue and orange, how those two colors work together. There's a lot of water reference in this. And with all of my paintings, what happens is during the process, I don't want to say that it's meditative, only because, I mean, it is meditative. But to nail that down specifically as meditative feels a little, and of course it is. I think with most painters, there's a state of mind that works best. And these marks, especially these big blue areas, how they moved around, couldn't have happened if I was not in a pretty focused state. And like I said, I would say most painters would agree that you can't be worrying about, you have to have a clear head. And so, yeah, I think this is just another, and again, it wasn't intentional, like I didn't make that piece or see that piece and say, okay, I'm gonna go do this. It's all sort of seamless. One thing does lead to another, one painting does spark something that you want to try, you know, and I wanted to try a larger canvas because most of my canvases were not quite this big. So that space also was nice. It's about my height, it's a little shorter, so I feel like my whole body can be immersed in this as I'm working on it. And if I'm close, my peripheral vision expands the width of it.